the start of the final weekend in July, and today your Info Hub begins with great news for local infrastructure as Guyana and China signs historic MOU under the Belt and Road Initiative. We also tell you that Guyana's financial sector now benefits from an approximate $7 billion loan from the World Bank, a major boost for the health sector as the first pediatric critical care unit is opened. Maintenance works begin on the Linden, Ituni and Kukwani roads, and women's T20 campaign Watch This is officially launched by their male counterparts. And now for the details. President David Granger and Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu were among government officials present to witness the historic signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between Guyana and China signed under the Belt and Road Initiative. Guyana's infrastructural development is the main focus. Tiffany Rogers has our first report.
The MOU was formulated within the framework of China's Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, commonly referred to as the Belt and Road Initiative. China's ambassador to Guyana, His Excellency Sui Zhenqing, and Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenwich signed the MOU. The MOU makes provision for cooperation in the areas of policy coordination, facilities connectivity, trade and investment, finance and integration, and people-to-people interaction. Minister Greenwich said the agreement could be the conduit for transforming Guyana's infrastructural landscape.
One of our main priorities at this point in time is to work on the development of infrastructure. And that would include assistance with the design, for example, whether it's of roads, harbors, and the like, as well as access to funding for the construction of such facilities.
Guyana is the first South American country to cooperate with China under its Belt and Road Initiative. Today also marks the 46th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Ambassador Sui described it as a promising chapter to a new partnership.
We are confident that we will bring tangible benefits to our two countries and two peoples.
The Belt and Road Initiative was introduced by China's President Xi Jinping in 2013. The trade and infrastructure investment project entails cooperation between China and more than 70 countries. The belt seeks to recreate the old Silk routes which connected China to the west through Europe and Africa. The road aspect is the strengthening of maritime routes. Following today's signing, Guyana and China will establish a framework to identify projects under the areas of cooperation. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Guyana's financial sector is now the beneficiary of an approximate $7 billion development policy credit after the signing of an agreement between Minister of Finance Winston Jordan and the World Bank today. Stacey Carmichael has the details.
The signing took place in the Finance Ministry's boardroom between Minister Jordan and World Bank Senior Country Director Pierre Nagy. Minister Jordan explained the approximately $7 billion or $35 million development policy credit will support the country's finance sector. The development policy credit provides financing on the basis of the actions which Guyana has already undertaken with regard to financial and fiscal stability, including the passage of critical legislation to ensure same.
It's about what it seeks to put in place in Guyana, particularly in the financial sector. The 4 bills that we passed were very complex pieces of legislation, but were very much needed to modernize the financial architecture in our country.
In addition to the legislation already passed to ensure a stable financial sector, including amendments to the Credit Reporting and Insurance Acts, Minister Jordan said modern stock exchange and public debt management legislation will also be passed.
These pieces of legislation that we have just passed are critical to, as we say, modernizing the infrastructure. In particular, legislation in relation to the national payment system, which in a country like ours, where liquid dollars is used for most transaction exchange, this particular bill will see over a period of 5 years or so the gradual introduction and gradual less dependence on cash as the sole or almost the sole means of transaction in the country.
The World Bank director said that the credit seeks to stabilize Guyana's financial sector.
The latest legislative acts that were passed right at the time for this agreement, and really this was a significant effort on the part of the government. So we're very pleased and looking forward to continue doing more of these and help the Guyanese people address the many challenges too.
It is also envisioned, Minister Jordan noted, that the amendments to the Bank of Guyana and Financial Institution Acts will strengthen the central bank's tools for dealing with commercial banks. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Road users in Linden, Ituni and Kokwani can breathe a sigh of relief as maintenance works have now started following a delay by the rainy weather. Public Infrastructure Minister David Patterson recently inspected the ongoing works and our team was with him.
In May, the Guyana Geology and Mines Commissions awarded 6 road contracts valued over $650 million for the maintenance of several roads, including the Linden-Ituni-Kokwani Road. However, the projects were delayed due to intense rainfall that made the road impassable and works impossible. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson.
I had at that time explained and apologized for the late start, but I confirmed and I came to that the contractors had started. And the plan that we had in place, as you would have seen, is several heaps of laterite and stockpile that you would see now, amongst of them. We've been stockpiling all of 2017 with the real idea that whenever we would give a contractor and it'd be right there at the road, so therefore we'll be able to maintain it immediately all year round, so therefore there'll be no delays. So we had everything in train. Somehow or the other we dropped the ball. I mean, collectively I'm not going to blame anybody because all are consumed. So the idea was but we're going to do that in 2019.
The road is the main artery not only for residents but for logging and timber concessions. Minister Patterson stated that the long-term plan is to transform it into a concrete road.
We do have a long-term goal of making it an all-weather road. I mean, asphaltic, concrete, whatever it is, rigid or flexible, so that it could be traversable by all users when it rains, during all types of weathers. So, but that obviously is something we have to work towards. I mean, the studies have been done. It's just a question of financing, which we're working on.
Minister Patterson also met with Ituni residents to hear their concerns and share his 2019 plans for their community. Following concerns raised, he pledged his support to improve drainage, to provide tires for the ambulance, and address the garbage situation. He also assured that the other issues raised, which pertained to other ministries, will be relayed to the relevant ministers. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
Mommy, you can't smoke in the room. You can get the baby sick.
She can't get sick. I lock up in this room. She's over there.
Mommy, you never heard about third-hand smoking? That is when the smoke gets into the fabric, like the chair and upholstery. And it still affects people that comes in the room.
First it was second-hand smoke. Now it's third-hand smoke.
Mommy, you know I love you and I want to see you quit. I don't want baby to have developmental problems like asthma and lung disease.
Let's all work together to prevent cigarette smoking-related illnesses. Thanks for staying with us. Government continues to demonstrate its commitment to the people with the opening of the first pediatric critical care unit. This was made possible through collaboration between the Government of Guyana and the International Children's Heart Foundation.
The pediatric critical care unit officially opened this morning. It paves the way for a pediatric intensive care unit which will come into existence late 2019. The critical care unit has been in the pipeline for almost 3 years but was fast-tracked after visits were made by Minister of Public Health Walter Lawrence and the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Social Services. Pediatric cardiac surgeon Dr. Rodrigo Soto said that the Children's Critical Care Unit is the first of its kind in Guyana.
For the first 12 months, it will be basically what we call an HDU or high dependency unit, which means that every patient that requires special care after surgery, any surgery, not only cardiac, or any critically ill patient will be able to be taken care of here with the proper equipment and with the physicians and nurses 24/7. The next step is definitely open the pediatric intensive care unit that we are aiming for, do that towards the end of 2019, beginning to 2020.
Another pediatric surgeon, Dr. Marissa Sipasod, said she is confident that the unit's second phase will be realized.
I think this is a good example of what teamwork can really achieve and lead to. So thank you very much. And I really would like to say, too, that we've been toiling away at this for a while, but we really do feel like we have a very supportive administration now that has propelled us to this point.
Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence, who opened the unit, explained that the administration is now tasked with ensuring that it is adequately staffed.
What I ask is that the next task of the CEO is to ensure that we have specialized, trained personnel to work in this department and that we have the numbers that are needed in order to have a smooth flow and turnover of staff. I know very soon we'll be having our nurses and midwife bill that will give us the leverage to do many things with our nursing staff. And so I look forward, CEO, for you and your team to begin to put that in place, the human resource.
The Pediatric Critical Care Unit will render assistance to babies and children born with adverse complications requiring surgeries and specialized medical attention. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
The men of the West Indies and Bangladesh cricket teams are throwing support behind their female counterparts as they start the public relations campaign Watch This for the Women's World T20, which bowls off in the West Indies this November.
West Indies captain Jason Holder and Guyanese trio leg spinner Devendra Bishu, batsman Shimron Hetmeyer, and all-rounder Kimo Paul, along with Bangladesh spinner Mehdi Hassan Miraj, unveiled a used cricket bat under the team Watch This to begin the campaign. West Indies captain Holder wants Guyanese to come out and support the West Indies women, who are the defending champions.
It was a wonderful occasion, to see the girls rallying around amongst one another and everybody back home in the Caribbean supporting them. I know we've got an opportunity to come firsthand and see it live in the Caribbean, and I just think it's a wonderful opportunity for everybody else to come out and see the spectacle.
He's also optimistic that the Windies ladies will lift the trophy once again.
I think we've got what it takes. The girls are in tune. I speak to them every now and then, and a lot of them are up for it and upbeat for the occasion. So, all to play for. We've still got to play the cricket to dictate being champions, but being defending champions. And I think we're going with an extra edge. Also playing at home.
The campaign for the Women's T20 World Cup continued in the afternoon at the Starbrook Market Square, which attracted a score of Guyanese. Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton, Director of Sport Christopher Jones, Assistant Director of Sport Melissa Dow Richardson, Mayor of Georgetown Patricia Chase Green, among other officials, were at the event. Minister Norton said that Guyana is proud to be one of 3 host countries for the Women's World T20 Cricket, and I quote, "Our participation in this event sends a strong message to the world that this land of many waters is gender conscious. It shows our commitment to the empowerment and development of women in all aspects of life." End quote. Guyana is one of 3 nations that will be hosting 11 of 23 matches for the November 9 to 24 tournament. The other host nations are Antigua and Barbuda and St. Lucia. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
For many Guyanese, emancipation celebration is a fashionable affair. One young entrepreneur, Melina Hudson, specializes in customized accessories to complement those gorgeous outfits. In this report, we find out more about MH Designs.
If you are still looking for that right necklace, purse, or shoes to go with your African wear, well, look no more. MH Designs is tailoring these items for you to match your special attire for the August 1 Emancipation celebration.
You don't have to look any further. You can come down to Main Street and you can have, we have a wide range of stuff. The prices are affordable. Like, they're literally affordable. Well, I can speak for myself. I do not sell to break people's pockets, but I sell at a cost that you can afford. So everybody can afford MH Designs. There's no exceptions.
The Essequibo-born designer is encouraging patrons to take advantage of her Georgetown reach. Though she is crafting items with her own materials, the designer explained that patrons can also work with their matching cloths to have their purses, shoes, or accessories crafted.
Most of the materials I source from Guyana. Mostly my hardwares, I import them. I do import some of my fabrics. For emancipation, me using more fabrics that you find in the stores is like a plus, because a lot of the people, they will get their fabrics to make their outfits from the stores. So If I purchase from the store and I make it my accessories, then it's easy for them to get accessories to go along with their outfits.
In 2014, the designer started her small business in Trinidad and Tobago. Recently, she relocated to Guyana to continue and expand her enterprise. Hudson aims to open a central location in Georgetown before the end of 2018. This year, she is part of the African Cultural and Development Association Pre-Emancipation Cultural Sale on Main Street, Georgetown. Hudson can be contacted on her mobile 665-9792 or on her Facebook at MH Designs. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
There is the 94th sitting of the National Assembly today, and one of the major issues that will be discussed is the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Amendment Bill 2018, among other critical issues. We leave you with your bridge and weather reports and a wish that you have a great and safe weekend. Goodbye.